very welcome to the Man United agenda. It is that time of the week again. There is another game of football to be played at the weekend. We're going to go through the ref watch. We're going to look at the key duels, what we expect the lineup for Chelsea to be. Obviously, we're going to have our own predicted XI. We'll have a look at the head-to-head record. And just for shits and giggles, we'll have a look at the Premier League table. But there was some breaking news that came out in the last half an hour to an hour, and we're going to start with it. And that is that Jim Ratcliffe has flown in to Manchester, to Carrington, to meet head coach Ruben Amorim. First reported by The Athletic. Ratcliffe had other meetings in addition to the one with Amorim. However, it is understood the 72-year-old is keen to help Amorim work through his current issues. Ratcliffe did not accompany Chief Executive Omar Barada to Leia this evening to watch the club's women's side reach the Champions League main draw for the first time. Congratulations to the women, by the way. Amorim has come under huge pressure following a dismal start to the season. Despite spending more than 200 million on new players, United have won once thanks to a stoppage time penalty against Burnley last month and were knocked out of the Carabao Cup by League Two Grimsby. While sources close to Ratcliffe have insisted he remains supportive of the former Sporting coach and point to massively improved data as the reason for their continued belief in the 40-year-old, others argue the statistics mask chronic underperformance. United have privately dismissed the report that Amorim has 3 games to save his job, although it's clear defeats by Chelsea, Brentford and Sunderland before the October international break would test their fate. Now, what I do want to ask you is, obviously we know that Ruben Amorim's successor was sacked in Sporting after 9 games, and all of a sudden somebody new came in there and pretty much won the league. What do you make of this whole situation of Jim Ratcliffe and the fact that the media are hopping all over
it? Interesting question, yeah. Ratcliffe, I remember when he said about the finances, remember he had an interview with Gary Neville, and he said something along the lines of, if we were going to be bankrupt by Christmas or something along the line. And I'm thinking, there wasn't much in that. I don't think that was very true. And you know me, I'm not a finance person, but I will tell you now that wasn't true. And if you would make a statement like that, then you'll be brave, man, because surely the stock exchange would, react to that, and it would be negative. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. So what he's saying now about there was rumors, he's squashed the rumors about 3 games for Amorim to turn it around. I like what it says at the bottom there about they're reading into it and not panicking like some emotional fans, and they're actually looking at the stats to suggest that we are performing better, even though the results aren't happening, and they can see some progress. I mean, they're in it for the long run. That's what they said beforehand. They don't want to take rash decisions. I like what Ratcliffe, every time he speaks, I listen to him. I like what he's doing. He seems to have a measured approach to changing turn the club around. Some things we don't agree with. Some things have been okay. I mean, the new stadium's great. The signings, they've invested money into signings as well. Like you said, 200 million already this season. They got a manager in who was the young, hottest thing out there in Europe. So overall, I'm not here to criticize Ratcliffe. I see overwhelming positivity, more so than negative stuff, regarding anything he said or manage the club. The club's in a mess. You have to remember that. It takes a long time as a troubleshooter to come in and turn things around. And I think his intention is good to turn the club around and be successful. And we just have to be patient. Like I said, all this stuff, I'm not going to stir the pot. You guys can if you want, but I'm not going to stir the pot and sort of criticize him because he's more qualified than me. And as far as I'm concerned, he's doing a good job so far.
I think that has to be.
Go on, get out your apron, get out the wooden spoon, and stir the pot. Go on, Mr. B. You know you want to. Look, rebels behind you. Rebels like the evil emperor. Usually turning you to the dark side. Look at him. Where's his cloak?
I'm trying to be what's the word? I'm trying not to be Do you know what? I understand the part that you said about him having a job to do in regards to sorting out the debts and that. I'm not sure he's done that the right way. He does want United to succeed, and the fact that, money wise, we've saved money here, we've saved money there, 50 million here, 50 million there, whatever it was. I still think there's a lot more for them to do. Player recruitment wise, I said Rebel, every other day Rebel talks about the central midfield. That was a key issue, and it wasn't something that the club actually did fulfill or help Amorim with. So him flying in and talking to Amorim, he doesn't want to sack him. He doesn't want to lose face. But at the same time, you look at Chelsea sack until they get it right. If some manager doesn't do it after a year and a half, he's gone. Maybe that's the ruthless streak. At the end of the day, we want to get back to winning. Do we want to fall in love with the manager? Probably. That's the United fans, innit? That's how we are. But I look at the Chelsea fans, they don't care. They don't care who the manager is. They just want to win. So I want to get back to winning. So him coming in and giving him, the vote of confidence, that's all well and good. And the stats saying that, we've improved. Have we? On paper, maybe we have, but in real life and reality, we're eye test merchants. We will sit down here and we're not interested in stats. We're not interested in that our XG was +7 or what it was when we've lost the game 2-0. That don't mean shit. I'd rather our XG is -1 and we win the game 4-0. I don't know how that would work. Maybe that doesn't even make sense what I said, but at the same time, I'm not interested. So him coming in, it's more news. It's more news, we even good or bad, every other day. I mean, we've got a game once a week, and we've been in the newspapers every day. They want something to talk about. Him flying in, fantastic, well done. But it doesn't help the fact he's not playing in central midfield for us, and he didn't help Amorim to do it. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, Mr. B. It's interesting you mentioned Chelsea because I regularly go to tea at work with a Chelsea fan, and he calls his manager Poundland Pep.
See?
But, just actually briefly, seeing as we are talking about being in the news, for the first time in a long time in our finances, our total wages is less than Arsenal's. So they are doing something in terms of the books. And
sorry, Ripple, can I just ask you something?
Yeah,
we're worse than Arsenal. Why should we be playing Arsenal wages when we haven't been in the top 4 for however long?
we shouldn't, but it's only now that we've done it.
Yeah, but is that down to United, or is that the fact that Arsenal have got a squad of 22 first-team players and they're paying them, title challenging wages? That's more why I don't see it being a Man United.
There's
not
two
saying
items.
that's something to be proud of, but
there's two items that actually contribute to it. Number one is that there's a 25% clause in the wages that if they don't have Champions League football, they all lose a quarter. Non-negotiable. That's in their contract. And that was the thing that Onana was whining about, if you remember when we were covering that during the summer. And the second thing is the top earners. Rashford, Sancho, and a few others, we've loaned them out. Their wages aren't on our wage book. So I think that they're the two key factors. And obviously, as a result as well, with the retirements that we didn't really replace, our squad is leaner. And I think there's only 3 players that are currently in the squad that are above 200,000. So that's progress.
Very good news. And also, I heard a rumour that opens us up to maybe get a January transfer signing. The Brighton boy, the one you guys are raving about. I've heard that's a possibility because of the finances. You got to be strict. I mean, look, we upset a lot of people with the stories of, people who've worked a long time at Old Trafford and written around the club. People probably earning 30, 40 grand a year, getting rid of them. Not that's going to make a huge dent. You wouldn't think so, but it's a ruthless business, isn't it? And you have to make cuts and you have to make changes to get the results. And this is what these guys are hired to do. And if it means us thinking, "Oh God, we're broke, and we can't, invest and build a new stadium or build a new training ground or get players in," then that would be a problem. Because before, the whole thing about the Glazers was saying, "Oh, they're taking money out of the club, they're doing this, they're doing that," and people suddenly became financial experts and were moaning about the money's been coming out. But now we've got someone here who's got a proven track record of being successful in business. You have to trust that he's doing it. So any decision that they make, regarding the club, you have to trust they're trying to generate money. Don't become a good businessman, which Man United is a.
Actually, may I interrupt you briefly?
You don't become a good businessman. It's about profit. Any organization is a profit-making organization, and football is a very difficult business to make profit from. So,
can I
credit
come in there briefly? You mentioned him about being a good businessman. Technically, the Manchester United investment that Ineos have made has been a bad investment because on the basis of the current share price in the stock market, they've lost about 50%.
This is temporary. I'm talking about his company, Ineos, is huge. I mean, he's done really well. He's been successful in business. They're all over the world. They're doing F1. Their branding is good. It takes time, and they always say the first year of your business is always going to flatline. You're not really going to make a profit. And you're not going to see much. But if you've got to have long-term goals, and you've always got to start to be building and making changes, you can't sit back and rest. And I think this is the right mindset, the business mindset that these guys have got will help us long term. And we'll look back in a few years' time and say, okay, that was the sacrifices we need to make for the success that we might have in the future.
But I suppose enough about finances. I probably whined about that for so long on this channel, but I will park it for today. And we get into the business of the preview. But before we do,
just before we do anything else, guys in the chat, did anybody see Rashford's second goal today? I know there's a lot of bitterness in here, and I know there's a lot of hatred, but I was so happy for him, man. I was so happy for him. If I get cussed in the chat, then I get cussed in the chat. That's just the way it is. But his second goal, man. Did you see the flight of the ball? It didn't move. He hit it so sweetly, it didn't even move. He's not what we wanted at the club, and I understand he's gone. I know I don't want him to come back, but I don't want him to stink at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get into the main business. This is happening on Monday. So we have reached the subscriber or the membership count. So on Monday, Colin's going to announce how this is going to be given away. So if you want to be in with a chance to actually win this jersey and you're not currently subscribed, this month is the best month ever to spend £1. You have to do it before Monday. If it's on Monday, it mightn't count. That'll be going down to the rules, man. But this jersey is being given away without question to one of you on Monday. So for the sake of £1, I can't think of anything better to be investing in right now. And obviously, for those that just prefer to subscribe,
we can fix it.
If you give us a free subscription, come on over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. When we hit 4K, one of you will get one of this season's jerseys. We can't say fairer than that, to be fair now.
Fantastic. So this Monday we're giving away the Robson jersey, yeah?
This Monday.
Okay, good.
Oh, I have been told by the rules commissioner they have until the end of the show Monday night to enter. So have a look in the drawers, lads. Get that quid out because you don't want to miss out on this.
Should we wait to the end of the month till people get paid? Or are people on universal credit and does it matter? No.
It's a pound. Universal credit is a pound.
We've gotten nearly 15 minutes. We haven't got into the preview. So let's start with our new segment. Ref what? So another yellow card happy individual, Mr. Peter Banks. He's a scouser. He represents the Liverpool Football Association. His highlights of his career was FIFA referee list for the first time, and some other stuff there that we're not really too interested in. But 4.25 yellow cards and 2 penalties in his first 4 games. He's another referee that looks like he's trying to beat his yellow card record from last season, because he had only 88 in 30 odd games last year. Oh, Column's breaking up the Benjamins again. Another 10 people are after being entered into the draw.
Oh.
So that's 20 of you now that Column has provided for. If you have got a free sub from Column, give us a quick how do you do in the chat so that we can congratulate you. But this year, Mr. B and Yaba, we've looked at 2 ref profiles, and we've looked at 2 refs that have increased their yellow card tally. Are they a bit yellow card happy as a result of something that Howard Webb has said to them, do you reckon? Or is there some rule changes that are contributing to it?
It could be a bit of both. But maybe the yellow, you know what I never understand? They say, oh, the ref gave 88 yellow cards and 5 red cards. Has it ever occurred to anybody that the cards were deserved? People always just say, oh, he's given out. You know, if you've got a derby game, you know, all right, Man United, as I said, I would have said Man United, Man United City, but nobody made the tackle in that game. But I really faced the derby, you know, maybe, all right, say Arsenal, Tottenham. And 10 players get booked, or, you know, 10, 11, 12 players get booked, but they were deserved bookings. It's not the ref's fault that his figures are so high. You know, maybe they should say the cards that maybe they thought were dodgy, maybe, or he's made, you know, he made of the 88 cards, you know, it's proved that, you know, 50% of them weren't deserved. At least then you would know he was a bad referee. He could be a good referee, and all of those cards could have been warranted. I doubt it, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
And you're playing it very well there, Mr. B. I should call you dark as how. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at his haircut. We used to, when people with that sort of shaped head, we used to say Eminem or McDonald's head, because you see the M shape with his hairline. But yeah, I don't know much about Peter Banks, and I hope Peter doesn't on the weekend. What rounds? I want to say Peter Banks. I want to be saying Peter Banks, but on Saturday night or Sunday night, rather than Peter. You know what I mean? The other one, but. Yellow card situation. I think, look, the players, as you know, Mr. B, on the Sunday, new refs coming out. I always say, he comes around, all the refs come to our game. They come to us when we're warming up, and they tell us what they expect. They tell us where the sin bin, what the new rules are, and then it's down to us on the pitch to determine whether we're going to get yellow cards or not, or whether we're going to get red cards. You know, I don't mind. Look, if it's a competitive game of football, it's a physical game. I don't mind tackles or, you know, if we're going in 100%. I really don't. But it's the conduct where you're mouthing off or doing things like that, that can be controlled. But if your players are giving 110% and they're going in for everything and they clatter someone, or not purposely, but then you might get yellow cards. You might get red card. I don't mind that. But it's the negligence of players where they're mouthing off or doing something stupid or doing a stupid foul, those sort of things, when you know the rules, and you're trying to bend the rules, you're trying to be clever, and you get yellow card or red card for them kind of things. That's where I'm not. I think players need to take more accountability, more responsibility for bookings. So everyone ref might have a reputation. You can build your reputation by saying, look how many reds you've given, or look who's that guy they say Alex Ferguson's mate used to come and, you know, give Old Trafford, that sort of thing. You get reputations. Remember Ellery, the headmaster from Harrow's school, who was, you know, be seen as a bit of a you know, red card, guy, you know, that sort of thing. So I think you do get reputations, and it sometimes, as you see with some refs, we've had some scandalous refs recently, haven't we? With Cooks, is it Guy Cooks? He had some really bad allegations come out about him.
You won't mention him, yeah, but moving on.
but you see what I'm saying? So referees are getting a profile that they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Referees should just ref the game, have no profile, and just get on with it. But don't think, right, I'm going to be a yellow card and red card and get reputation for that kind of thing. Just do the job. As long as you follow the rules, I've got no issues with the ref. I want to, like Mr. B was saying, I want a ref to ref the game, and we don't even notice them, or we could say, "Well done, ref. That was good." Even on Sunday when we had our game, I said to the guys, because they always come off the pitch, players, and say, even though we lost or something, they'd be saying, the ref this, the ref didn't allow that, the ref did. I say, guys, the ref played well, the ref was good. You take responsibility. And that happens at amateur football, and it should happen at professional football as well. Don't blame the ref. Just take responsibility. You know the rules. Play the game. Enjoy the game, and just and don't cry to the ref when you losing. It's not the ref is making you lose. You know, it's very rare that happens these days. It's you that loses the game, the players. So take responsibility.
Just one interesting one. It was mentioned that he looks a bit like Dracula in this photo. I want to bite your neck.
He does actually.
But moving swiftly along. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. So we're back down towards 14th. Only one green tick, 2 losses, a draw, and a win. Chelsea in their opening 4, 2 draws, 2 wins. And obviously, them lot where the ref is from are up top with 4 wins. Probably not a whole pie to say at this present moment of time, but as the season develops, obviously this will be a segment that will have a bit more bite to it. But start as we mean to continue. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Indeed.
So,
Otherwise, why don't you bring a new segment in where you give us a yellow card or a red card, Rebel?
Oh,
We'll be setting you up every week.
No, you. Or we could pull out a comment and say, yeah, we're giving that a yellow card as a warning or a red card. You got to bounce, you know. Just talking about red cards, managers get red cards and coaching staff get red cards as well, don't they? Did you see Diego Simeone yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you see the fan winding him up?
I didn't see it. I didn't. Do you know more about it? What's the story?
Well, it's just that I've just said they've just shown obviously the video of him goading him.
Yeah,
bruv. Liverpool aren't going to ban the guy because you know it's what it is. But he was proper. Just these are big people. These are adults. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just don't understand why they would carry on like that. I know it's heated but it's a game.
Yeah, here I'm gonna have to bring us back inside because we are moving slightly astray.
Sorry.
So
the Rebel. The thing is, we don't want to talk about the game because we're playing so poor at the moment. Just trying to avoid any talk of Man United playing football.
I know, but we need to get through it. And so next up is what we reckon the Chelsea 11 will be. We know that Delap, Estugo, Lavia. Geez, that lad hasn't touched the pitch actually really since he joined Chelsea. Colwell, Batshuayi, and obviously Mikhailo Mudryk has issues of a different kind. But having a look at that lineup, so obviously Sanchez is, according to my Chelsea buddy, is the weak link in their team. He absolutely hates his goalkeeper.
Played well yesterday.
We have Gatto, Fofana, Chabala, and Cucurella. Caicedo, Fernandez, Neto, Palmer, Garnacho, and João Pedro. And
Garnacho.
There is rumor that he's injured, but there's a chance that he could play.
I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts. I don't think he'll start Garnacho.
Garnacho can't play. Sorry, he can't play. My apologies. Whoever wrote this, he's banned from playing.
Oh, well, there you go then. Oh, of course, it's no. What? No, they bought him.
Oh, they bought him. They did, yeah.
I know it's a late one for you, Rebel.
Where's hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait 1 second.
Here.
Wait 1 second.
Here.
Finally.
I tell you what, it's late. I have to be up at 6, and
all right, let's move on. Let's
Try
go
to
for it.
keep it straight. Who's loaded, who's not at this stage,
Uh,
without a mess of a transfer window.
Garnacho doesn't start. I'm convinced. Got one question I will. If Garnacho scored, do you think he would celebrate?
Oh, you will, yeah, because he's a dick.
Well, we don't want him scoring them because that would be really, really bad.
We'll have a look at the head-to-head record. So since 2021, there's only 2 red results, 2 losses. We seem to have 4 draws and 2 wins. So the odds of a draw are probably pretty decent. But having said that, the way we're playing is
Well,
the
we're at
main.
home. We're at home. If you look at the home games on this list, where we played at home, 1-1 draw, 2-1 win. We've got a 4-1 win and another draw. So we've been unbeaten against Chelsea in the last 4 home games, which is promising going into the game.
Surprising. I'll be honest. I'm surprised.
But
Does that fill you with confidence then for the game?
It's something. These are what the bookies look at, don't they? They look at the home form, and I think the odds. Be interesting to see the odds for us because I think it's a big game. It's a big game, and I think we got an opportunity to win because considering we haven't lost to them for
We wouldn't
long.
be. We wouldn't be favourites for that game, right?
I'm interested to see the odds because the bookies never wrong.
I'm going to ask you to save your summations for the score prediction segment, lads, because we have a small bit more to go through. I'm going to give you one of these each. So the first duel that we're looking at is Cole Palmer against Casemiro. Which one of you wants to take this one?
I'll start on this. You can do the X one, Mr. B. All right. So Cole Palmer, he's really come on in the last few years as a player. Left Man City, and came down south to play for Chelsea and really smashed it. You look at his stats, goals, assists. He's been a brilliant player, and what he did in the World Club Championships against PSG, he really stood up and put himself on the world map to say he's a top player. No one here is really going to put it out there, but I'm going to say he's one of the brightest stars in Europe right now. I mean, because he's English and we think, he's just lackadaisical, whatever. But he's a talented player. He can play down the middle. He can go on the left or right. He dictates the play. And really hard to sort of get the ball off him. He's got a great left foot. He's got great intelligence as well. The way he maneuvers the ball and brings people into play. He's not greedy. And he comes up. He's clutch. He's clutch as well. He comes up with goals and assists when it really matters. So I'm really impressed with him. I think he's a great player. Pushing on to world class, when you consider what else is out there. Really talented. Casemiro, this will be a duel because you can imagine them being in the same zones. And Casemiro, he's got to stand up on him. That's the main thing. Don't dive in this guy because he will drop you on his backside, and have you in all kinds of trouble. So I think he jockeys a lot, doesn't he, with Cole Palmer? Jockeys to uses his sort of body like to sort of drop his shoulder on people. Casemiro just needs to stand up and show experience with him. When he's not looking, just pinch him hard and yeah. And I think if they are playing, I think they will clash a few times. Casemiro, like I say, just needs not to get booked, not to get wound up, and just stand up at him and show you experience. And I think if in this duel, I can see Cole Palmer just being ahead through his youth, his form, and Casemiro's tendencies to sort of dive in, and lose his head a bit at a time. So I think Cole Palmer will be relishing the opportunity of playing up against Casemiro.
Caicedo and Bruno. Obviously, depends on what position Bruno plays in. Obviously, Caicedo, he was quiet once he left Brighton. They spent just over 100 mil on him that first season. He was no good. He wasn't up to scratch, but halfway through last season and especially the start of this season, he's coming to his own. I mean, he's even added goals to his game now. So the goals part of it, probably Chelsea aren't really going to be looking for. But it's going to be interesting where Bruno plays up against him. Now, if Bruno plays in the 8, then it's going to be interesting to see if that comes in direct competition with Caicedo. If he plays as a 10, whether he goes narrow, I think that'll be more the key. If Bruno plays as one of the 10s, he's more likely not to be involved with him. But I think if he's playing in the 8, I don't think Bruno gets much change out of Caicedo. I'll be honest. I see Bruno's minutes. I see that he scored the 2 goals and he's got the 1 assist. But look at Caicedo's tackles, one and his interceptions in there. I just think that he closes Bruno out of the game.
There you go.
Just quickly, Rebel, what do you think is Caicedo as a player?
I think he's quality. Obviously, we gave him a bit of stick in his first season with Chelsea, but my lord, has he shown his quality now? He's like a fine wine that seems to be getting better as he goes along, and probably is the type of player that when we were spending 75 million on the likes of Casemiro, even though we got one good season of him, it's probably someone like him that we should have been thinking of. But that being said, we've spent big money and got it wrong too.
Yeah.
But love him as a player. Absolutely fantastic. So now we have looked at those head-to-head duels, but now we want to look at United team. Oops. There we go.
Mr. B?
Yeah, let's have a look. Yes, I don't see why Bayinde missed a mistake. You shouldn't be spending 20 million on a player and not getting him in. He's had a week. Euro, I know he had a bad game the last game, but I think he's been our Rolls Royce of defenders, so I think there was not an issue. Delete, obviously, I would always choose him over Maguire. Sorry, but that's just the way it is, and I think he's nailed on. Shaw couldn't play again after the performance that he did. Maybe Mazraoui could have gone in there, but we've gone with Heaven. Dorgu, obviously, we don't have a replacement for him on that side at the moment, so we've got to accept that he's going to blow hot and cold. Ahmad, on the right, he's pulled him out of the 10. He's got to play him. He needs to play him. Mainu needs to start after his 17-minute cameo against Man City. Even Pep decided that he might take him. This is the one. Mazraoui, centre midfield.
Wow.
He's got everything. I just feel that he should be playing there. He's got the intelligence. In Mbeumo, I think he's been our best player so far this season. I would like him to hit the back of the net again. Bruno, out of central midfield to accommodate Kobe. Let him fight against Cunha. He's not going to get dropped. And obviously Sesko has to start. I mean, Xerxes, I did contemplate getting Xerxes in there, but I'm not sure Xerxes is ready. I'm not sure when he's going to play or when he's going to start. So,
Mr. B, is that your team? Did you pick that team?
Yeah, I did.
Looks more like a solo 11 with Maz in midfield.
Why?
Well, you need to talk the merits of having him midfield, because I heard this as a rumor and I thought it was a joke because I laughed it off. But now we see we put the graphics up and you're serious, or someone's serious.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Technically, he's good on the ball. He can beat the press. He's good on the half turn. He's good in the air, and he doesn't really waste the football. You know, the passes that he makes are better than Agate. He headers better than Agate. All right, he might not be able to cover the ground as quick as Agate. He's tackling one-on-one duels. How much duels does he lose? How much duels does he lose? You know, I would play in centre of the park. I'm not. Casemiro's legs are gone. What's he gonna do? Play Casemiro for 55 minutes, knowing that the last 35 minutes he's got to bring on Agate, a player who he doesn't want to play.
The alternative, drop people in, like Weezer Better said, big up Weezer Better, by the way. He said put Maz in the centre back position, take out Heaven, and then put someone else in centre midfield.
Who would you put in our team? Who have we got that we could put in central midfield?
Agate or Casemiro.
Yeah, but Agate can't. But yeah, but have you not? He hasn't broken you yet. Agate hasn't.
And by the way, sorry, I take that back. Why is Luke Shaw playing?
Did you see him in the last game
against Man City?
And the game before that?
I think he's still better than what we've got, than Heaven and all these guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was acting like he's injured or something. He's not injured.
No, he's not injured. I just wouldn't pick him. You know what? You see, the problem is there needs to be consequences. It needs to be consequences for bad performances. And at the moment, yeah, you nobody wants to play bad. I granted and I accept that. But if you play bad, there needs to be a consequence of you playing bad. You play shit, get dropped. That's how it should be. Somebody else takes your place until they play shit. You know what I mean? And then hopefully you get your space back. It builds mental strength. You know what I mean? That's more why I mean, how old is she? I mean, Shaw's we're 2026. We're still talking about Shaw at left back and his left centre back. Yeah, maybe he can fill in for a game or two, but can he do it for the whole season? Is he going to do it for the whole season? I hope not.
Rebel, can you respond to that? Because am I the only one who's disagreeing here?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't liked the way Shaw's played this year. I don't see the reasoning for playing him. I had heard in training that they have been trying Maz in the central defensive midfield role, and given that Casemiro is the only other person that naturally plays that role, I don't see the problem in trying him there. But as maybe Andrew said, maybe putting him out against Chelsea is a risk as the first foray into that. But he's a good player. Which brings me to this. Score predictions. Get them in the chat. But Mr. B, do you want to take a few comments before we go into that? But I want to see some score predictions rolling through the chat.
I do want to know why if I was looking at Euro there, I was going to ask him why the long face.
I suppose you're going to come up with something with some horse joke now, innit? Innit? We deserve better. Has got Amorim will play by Indy, Maz, Delit, and Euro. Ahmad, Casemiro, Bruno, Dorgu, Mbeumo, Sesko, and Xerxes.
That's a decent.
I mean, do you know what? It wouldn't be. What's he got? Who's he got? It wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility, you know, that he plays this team.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think? You must have seen something in the. To buy a goalkeeper, you must have seen an error or problems in the goalkeepers that you have. The fact that he's not going to start him would surprise me. But look, maybe he'll save him for the so-called easier games. I don't know. But yeah, we deserve better. His team's not bad, to be fair. Xerxes fit, he hasn't started. Dorgu, Bruno. It's just that central midfield again. But look, that's something that we're going to moan about until Amorim either changes or he goes. So we'll just have to accept it, innit? Stephanie's saying, yeah, but I'd play Maguire over Shaw. It's that serious. Yeah. I won't put that one up. Looks adaptable. Chat Sport has got one here. Play Bruno as a false nine. Have him drop in and leave Mbeumo as an outlet.
Okay. What's the scoreline?
Scorelines. Oh, okay. We've got a few score predictions in, to be fair. Hold on, I'm not going to get those up yet. I'll do that one. I'll start that one. I'll see you, Luca. How you doing? Let's see. One, blah, blah, blah. Score prediction is one. Right. There's a couple in there. Right. Okay. Who's going to go first for this score prediction?
I'm going for a 3-1 win for Man United. I think we can get a Chelsea. They just play Champions League football. I don't rate their defence too well. You name their centre-backs. All of them I think we can get at. It's time we start to click. We're at home. There's a lot of pressure on the manager. Get the crowd behind them, and prove that we can do something. It would be a huge statement if we can beat Chelsea, because even though they're better than us at the moment, they've been better than us last season. We have to make a statement. We've lost to Arsenal. We lost to Man City. Playing these big clubs, we really have to put them to the sword. So I'm going with a 3-1 win, and we will be buzzing after the game.
I'm going to be honest. I think we lose the game. I think we lose the game 3-1. I don't have any confidence in the team. I understand that Chelsea did play in the week, and they had to play a strong team in the week, which is good. Champions League. That's probably our only. I think that might be our only saving grace in regards to that. Their players are going to be tired and very, very frustrated. But I don't see us scoring. We might score the first one, and then they'll camp in and we'll turn into a back five. So no, I don't. I see a 3-1 loss.
Rebel.
I think, optimistically speaking, the best we can hope for is a draw. But I'm with Mr. B. I do not see us getting anything out of the game on Saturday. 2-3-1 to Chelsea.
Wow.
Right, let's have a see what else we've got in here. We have. Why didn't I just start? Chat Sport has gone 1-0 Chelsea. Colm's gone 3-1 Chelsea. Andrew's gone 2-1 Chelsea. I think Steph was answering your one about winning 3-1, Jabba. She said United with the 3 OGs. We deserve better. The game has got 2-2 written all over it. Would you be happy with a 2-2? Would you be happy? We'll all be happy with the win. Yeah, those were them. We've got this one. If we lose, then I will sack Amorim after the match. Oh God, here we go. 4-0 Chelsea if Baynder plays.
But that has been your previous show. It has been a later one tonight. Unfortunately for all of us, we all have nice early starts to bring us into that Friday weekend. I hope it's not as negative as we expect on Saturday, but it probably will be. We have been the Man United agenda from us. It's good night.